I've been going through Daniel chapter 5 recently in my class with our students at Ambassador Bible College. And this time it seemed to resonate a little bit better. You can always tell when you connect with students over a passage of the Bible. I was reading about the story of the handwriting on the wall, the Feast of Belshazzar, the fall of Babylon. And this hand appears out of nowhere and begins to write words upon a wall during a banquet, and everyone gets upset and nervous, and they call in Daniel to interpret the handwriting on the wall. But to get to Daniel, Belshazzar the king had to be reminded of something by his mother, actually his grandmother, the queen, when she came in and reminded him that your magicians, your astrologers, they're not going to be able to interpret this handwriting. You need to call in this man named Daniel, who during your grandfather's time was an individual who could interpret dreams. But what she says about him in Daniel chapter 5 and in verse 11, I've always really kind of just paused on and thought about, because it's what I would like to have said about me. Let's read what she said about Daniel the prophet. She said, there is a man in your kingdom in whom is the Spirit of the Holy God. And in the days of your father, that would have been Nebuchadnezzar, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, were found in him. She goes on to say how Daniel had interpreted dreams and visions for Nebuchadnezzar. Light, wisdom, and understanding. That's a pretty tall order. This was a queen. We would call her a pagan queen. She didn't fully know the true God, but she saw something in Daniel that she knew was right. Light, wisdom, and understanding, like the wisdom of the gods. I was telling the students, wouldn't that be a great epitaph or compliment to have said about us? We can have that. You can have that. If we apply ourselves diligently to God's word, if we would be like Daniel and pray 3 times a day, put everything in God's hands in faith, and obey God, then light, wisdom, and understanding could be something that could be inscribed in our heart. You know, people like to inscribe things on their flesh all the time. The Bible talks about God's law being written upon our heart. And if you look at light, wisdom, and understanding was in Daniel, that would be something for all of us to strive to have by the Spirit of God and by the grace of God in our own life. Resonated with the students, always does with me when I go through, and I hope it does with you. That's BT Daily. Join us next time.